Congratulations, Nikola Jokic. He wins Finals MVP last night, while of course bringing the Nuggets their first NBA title ever. And boy, he did it in style. Joker is the first player ever to lead the NBA playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists. Shannon, what do you think? Did Jokic prove he's the best player on the planet?
Yeah, and what Skip has bestowed that title to anybody that wins the Finals MVP. He crowned Kevin Durant the best player. Well, let me take that back. I should say that's not what you did. You did that when Kevin Durant dethroned LeBron James. You said he's the best player. Because when LeBron James dethroned everybody, there was always someone else out there. But there's no question in my mind, Skip. I mean, he led all players in points, rebounds, and assists for an entire playoff. Not for a series, because LeBron James has done it for a series. He led everybody that touched the court in every statistical category in the series in the NBA Finals. Points, rebounds, blocks, assists, steals. He led the entire postseason in points, rebounds, and assists. As a big, recorded a triple-double in 2 of his first 3 games. He's the first player to do that. Skip, people try to minimize him because what he doesn't do on the other end. He's not Bill Russell. He's not Tim Duncan. He's not Akeem Olajuwon. You've never seen anybody as skilled. I don't know if I've ever seen it. Olajuwon was skilled, but we haven't seen a big man that can score the basketball and pass the big man. Now, maybe you saw some Wilt. I didn't see Wilt, but with my own eyes, they say I saw him play. I've never seen anything as skilled offensively as a big like Nikola Jokic, Skip. Won the championship without a top 75 player. He has the Bill Russell trophy on his mantle. He has the Magic Johnson trophy on his mantle. He'll have the Larry O'Brien trophy on his mantle. He has 2 MVPs on his mantle. I don't know, 30 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Shot 58% from the floor, 42% from 3. Next year, it's all about in pro sports. That's why I love sports so much, because you have to sports so much. It's because you have to constantly update your resume. You don't get to rest and say, I did that last year, so therefore I'm that this year. It doesn't work like that. But right now, as you and I have this discussion, there's not a better basketball player in all the world than Nikola Jokic.
Okay, I'm going to give you this. His lane artistry and creativity was on full display through these whole playoffs. He is a spectacular scorer of the basketball. A shot creator, unlike any big man.
No big has ever been able to create a shot like he can.
Because I don't even know what they are half the time. I say, I don't think I've ever seen that or that. And he has a very soft, sweet touch.
He does.
That doesn't go with his big old bulky body. It doesn't seem to fit. It's like an oxymoron. A man that looks that sort of clunky and geeky and gawky can't have a touch like that, but he does.
Skip, you know what's so amazing, and it's funny that you say that, is that his touch is so great, you never see the ball carom way over here, a carom way over there.
No, the ball opposite. It just bounces around and it falls in.
Either it falls in or if somebody's right there to grab it. But him hitting the shot and it caroms way back out and somebody scrambles to get it.
No.
His shot doesn't do that.
There are no clangers. And he really impressed me with his 3-ball because, as LeBron said after their series, he puts it behind his head like Larry Bird, cocks it all the way back behind and arcs it and shoots it up in the rafters.
Yes.
And it is physics. The higher you shoot it, the more rim you have to fall through because you're
but it's got to swish.
The entire rim.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. When you shoot it that high, it's got to swish.
Or it's going to clang, but he swishes it.
He swishes it.
And he got just deadly with it. You can just see the look in his eye. If you just leave him standing out there alone, he only made one last night. But the previous game, or game 5, game 4, he stood out there and made 3 of them, and they shoot your heart out because you're saying he can do that also. Okay, so I'm going to give him all that, and I also give him that on defense, he was better than I thought he would be. But he had a huge advantage. He's being guarded by a 6'9" guy who they dared to shoot in game 1, and he took 25, a career-high 25 shots, did Bam Adebayo.
Took 20 last night.
Yeah, took 20 because they're just saying, go ahead. Just go ahead and shoot that because you're not going to beat us.
No, you can't beat us. Jimmy Butler and those guys making threes can beat you.
Can beat you. So here's my point. I did detract from what LeBron pulled off in the bubble because I kept saying, well, it was the bubble. It's bubble-licious. It's an asterisk championship because you got to play the Heat when Bam tore up his shoulder in game one, and he was playing with sort of half, like one arm the rest of the way. And remember, Dragic was their leading scorer in the playoffs going into the finals, and he couldn't go. The same thing applied here because Joker is just scoring at will on Bam, even down the stretch. And what I did love last night, in the second half, I wrote it down.
Oh, he got ultra aggressive.
Hey, in the second half, he had 19 points on 8 of 10 shots. In the fourth quarter, he was big because he hit 5 of 6 shots for 10 points.
Yes.
Not huge salvo of points, but when they needed a bucket, like absolutely needed a bucket, he'd just say, okay, I got it.
Yes.
And he'd bang back into Bam, and Bam just can't do anything.
Well, but Skip, the mistake that we're making is that they put him at the free throw line. Or say, if you don't trap him, he's banging on Bam, or he's banging on Gabe Vincent, or he's banging on Duncan Robinson. You better come get that ball out of his hands.
They didn't. And you can take the ball out of his hands as Kyle Lowry did.
Because he'll give it up.
He will give it up. Okay, so I'm just going to remind everybody, and I'm not using this as an excuse, but they said Tyler Hero's back last night. I don't know. I think that it was just gamesmanship.
Yeah, I think so too.
You and I kept talking. He's got a pin in his shooting hand from some recent surgery.
Right.
Well, they said he's still got pain in his hand when he tries to shoot the basketball. Okay, so what?
So what's he going to do?
Well, obviously nothing, because they didn't trust him to even try a shot
Exactly.
last night.
Because that's the last thing you need, Skip. He go down there and fall, he re-breaks it. Or somebody, Skip, you slapping at the ball. You trying to go up for a shot. I slap down on the ball. Now I broke it. Now I reset you back.
And the problem is he's never been a defensive demon to start with, so you'd have to sacrifice that and maybe the shooting.
Same thing with when Duncan Robinson come in the game, what do they do, Skip? They attack.
They do. And yet he was about as consistent a scorer as they had for the whole playoff run. But he can't create. He can go up and under occasionally, but he can't create his three-point shot. He has to catch it and shoot it, come off a pick and grab it and stop and shoot it, and they just took it away.
And guess what? They did a great job of closing out without leaving their feet. So now he has to put the ball on the floor.
All right. So my point is, Joker last night for this whole series is playing against Bam in a smallish defense with a lot of undrafted guys who just aren't very good, and they're just not big enough to deal with him. So his degree of difficulty was pretty low here.
But Skip, Bam is one of the premier defenders at the center position that we have in the league. You'll make it seem like he's a slouch.
He's undersized.
But is he not a great defender, Skip? I
guess inch for inch he is, pound for pound he is. I will give you that. Okay, I'm going to hark back, and I'm going to make this case one last time. I'm not going to back off and give up on Joel Embiid, because he did win the regular season MVP.
Did.
So it's an 82-game award.
Yes.
And they met one time, head-to-head.
Yes.
I got the box score right here. This was back on January 28th, okay? This was at Philadelphia. I give you this. And Joel did not play in the game at Denver.
Right.
But at Philadelphia, they go head-to-head for the whole game. And Joker plays 38 minutes. Joel played 38 minutes. So it's pretty even on the minutes. Joel just destroyed him. It was 47 points to 24 points. It was 18 rebounds to only 8 rebounds. Even on assists, I'll give Joker the assist. He had 9. Joel had 5, because Joel's a pretty good passer for his size. And yet Joker turned it over 7 times, because they're just slapping the ball out of his hands like crazy as he tries to operate on a Joel who he can't gain an immediate advantage on. He can't bang down on Joel because Joel's going nowhere.
Right.
You can bang against him and he's not going to move. And Joel is a much better free throw shot. He's 86% to 82%, but much better in that he's going to get to the line more. He averaged Joel did 10 of 12 free throws a game. That's how he won MVP.
But Skip, I mean, he stays on the floor.
Okay, I got it. But he also stays at the free throw line, and he makes 86%.
I mean, only clothes in a dorm room is on the floor more than Joel Embiid, man. I was like, come on, Skip, the man's 7'2", 300 pounds. How he on the floor all the time?
Okay, I will give you that. But the refs are buying it for some reason. A lot of times they won't buy it.
What did Ernestine tell you about Yoke? He don't look like he done got beat. Like the man beat him, like he was in the field and not listening. He got whipped with a whip. All them scratches on him. I'm like, come on now. The refs walk by him. Y'all see that?
Every time Ernestine walks by the TV, she stops and says, he's all scratched up.
And he is. Like he been in the field picking okra with no sleeves on.
Okay. So the point is, Joker's averaged in the regular season 5 free throws out of 7 attempts. So it's 10 out of 12 to 5 out of 7. And then we get to shot blocking. Joel is the much better shot blocker, but I'm going to give Joker this. He impressed me because against Bam, see, he could just fall off and he could just stand under the rim.
Right.
And he's a sly shot blocker. He's a cagey defender.
Right.
He's clever. He can't jump,
No.
but his IQ is obviously off the charts, and it works on defense as well as on offense. So he's going to deflect.
He's going to try to get the ball as you're coming up with it.
He will.
But he's also 7 foot tall, Skip. So when you try to go up and under, those little guys try to go up and under, he's right there.
Okay. To me, if I'm a quote-unquote defensive coordinator for another team or just the head coach of another team, I'm more afraid of Joel because if he goes off on you, he is a nuclear weapon. He's more intimidating to me than Joker. And maybe it's just flavor that it's just Joel, when he is engaged, and he's not always engaged, I do give you this on Joker. He is steady as a rock. He is never too high. He's never too low. After the game, he says, the job is done. We can go home. You know, okay, we can go home now. Okay, great.
Did you see him in the fourth quarter? He was really animated on the sideline.
That was the second time in the finals I saw him get mad.
Yeah.
And he's screaming at them, what are you doing? We are better than this.
Yes. Because everybody's looking around. They're like, Nikola doesn't do this. Yoke doesn't do this. He's yelling. He's imploring us to play better.
Yeah.
He knows we have something in it, as opposed to a guy that like Jimmy crying, whoop, I guarantee you the victory. I guarantee you the victory. I guarantee you the victory. And then after a while, you're like, whatever, you ain't winning nothing.
They said Joker stepped up after game 2 when they just didn't play as hard as the Heat. And he actually spoke up and spoke out, and it resonated.
Yes.
It reverberated in the locker room because it was mostly KCP talking to some of the older guys.
Right.
Okay? I give you that. I think he's way more mature than Joel. I think he's more dependable than Joel. But just for my money, just you hate in the vacuum, like Hoover vacuum. You can vacuum up this argument and just throw it out with the garbage.
So just right here.
But the point is, Joel, to me, is a more dominating, intimidating basketball player than Jokic is. Because Joel's touch from 12, 14, 16 feet is just absolutely lethal. He is a 7'1" pure jump shooter. It's as pure a jump shot as I've ever seen. Joker doesn't really have a jump shot. He's got a little set shot that he can shoot.
But here's the thing why I fear Nikola Jokic, because not only can he give me 40, he can give me 17 assists.
He can.
Not only can he give me 40, he can give me 20 plus rebounds. So when you're talking about that, yeah, he might not consistently score you 35 like Joel Embiid, but when you look at the totality of it, he's going to give you 25, 27, but he's going to give you 11, 12 assists. So when you average it out, you see, there's like, we got to make him a scorer. Okay, he goes and gives you 41 and 11, and so you neutralize his assists. He comes back the following game and gives you a triple-double, 28, 13, and 12, 20, something like that. But now he's getting everybody involved. The difference is his mentality versus Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is looking to put the ball in the basket. He's looking to get everybody else going first. He's a reluctant scorer. Last night in the fourth quarter, F y'all. I'm going to get these buckets.
Yeah, well, that's why he's screaming, and then he is going to actually walk his talk because he's saying, if you guys don't want to do it, I will do this.
Yes, exactly.
Because we don't want to go back to Miami, and you guys, you're begging them to steal this game.
Because you know what happened? What happened in Game 7 in Boston, Skip? First play of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, his knee. Boom. That
was it.
You remember what was that? The other game, was that Game 3 or Game 4 when he stepped on somebody's ankle? It could have been. So you're a twisted ankle, a rolled up knee, for now all of a sudden the whole series changes.
Well, Joel hurt his knee at the end of the Brooklyn series. It's Game 3. They're going to sweep him.
Yes.
And he falls, to your point, into the stanchion, and he hurts his knee.
Yes.
And he winds up having to wear this bulky brace, and he didn't like it. And then James Harden went south on cue. I should have known. I should have.
No. We did that. We're not going to take no shots at James Harden. Yeah. We talk about the best player. Skip. I mean, I think right now you got to say the man So in the last 3 years, he's won back-to-back MVP, Finals MVP, and the Magic Johnson Award. I don't know what else you want. If that doesn't symbolize the best player in the NBA.
But he did not win the MVP this regular season.
But I'm saying, Skip, your guy has never even been to the Finals.
He has not. I thought this was the year.
As a matter of fact, when's the last time your guy has he ever been to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, against Kawhi.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
How long ago that been?
That lucky bounce shot. Remember that?
Man, you know how.